Hello, I'm Liz Tilley and welcome to Ray White's Attraction series, where I'll be getting to know some of the team's newest and most successful agents and business leaders, finding out what makes them so good at what they do. My next guests are Giovanni and Santo Spinella, dynamic business leaders and the driving force behind Ray White Townsville. With a powerful combination of strategic leadership and hands-on expertise, they've built a high-powered team that continues to set new benchmarks. So let's go and meet Gio and Santo. Gio, Santo, thanks for having me. It's great to be here in Townsville in your office. I guess firstly, congratulations is in order for #1 sales office in Ray White, Queensland for the number of sales. That's a huge achievement, especially for Townsville.
It's such a small little place.
Exactly.
Yes.
What's behind it? What's driving that success?
Oh, look, I think some of the things that we do really well is consistency. I think we're really lucky to have a team that just understands what we need to do in real estate to get the output. And the team always shows up, always does the hard work, and we're just consistently outperforming, which is something we're really proud of. So yeah, just a good team behind us.
Amazing. So you've both got different roles, property management, sales. How do you think you use those different strengths to help each other in those different parts of the job?
Yeah, definitely. So look, it's really quite a unique dynamic between us where I can look after the business and manage operations, take care of property management. I do some of the back end stuff with sales agents, and that just kind of leaves Gio to really focus on the sales side of things, which has been, I think, fundamental for us working together and, making this work at such a big scale.
Yeah, look, absolutely. I think one of the things Santa and I always understood when we started the business was that we needed to lead from the front. And I think us having two different sides of the business, the team seeing that there's someone really got their hands on the business and making sure that we're front of the game with marketing, but then also having someone in the sales team predominantly as a sales agent as well. I get the uppercuts like the agents do on a daily basis. So we have real relevant conversations about what's going on in the market on a regular basis. So yeah, I think that really helps from leading the sales team.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. And having that balance as a team, I guess, is important for contributing to success too. Do you find like you can leverage off each other a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. Look, it certainly helps. It's not so much a case of, mum and dad kind of, mum said no, go see dad. But we bring different strengths to the table, because I don't predominantly do sales, I see things differently. So, they might go to Gio for an opinion. I might have a different view of things. So I think it works really well.
Yeah, from a core values point of things, so Santa and I we never question each other as well. So it's hard and fast. So whatever, with Santo's, absolutely, I trust his judgment 100%. So if he makes a decision, I know that's solid. And if I make a decision, he knows that I'm doing it we've both got the same mindset for the best of the business. So and I think the team understands that as well, that, we're all here for the greater good of the team. So
I guess leading a high-performance team is no small feat, Gio. What sort of key principles do you really focus on to help drive that success and inspire them?
Yeah, look, I think for me, some of the biggest things, and I've always said to my team, like, there's no point changing things if it's not going to get us a better outcome for the client. And we've always had a client-first focus. Some of the things that we always bring to the table is making sure our communication is really on point, like build relationships with people, get to know them, get to know the dog's name, and really understand who they are as a person. If you can build trust with them, we understand that they will come back to us on the other side of it as well. But it's also about being present. Like we do have some hard and fast standards around how we perform and how our team actually look after people. So having that knowledge, being professional day to day is really important to us too. And I think the market responds to that. So especially in a regional town.
Yes, exactly, I bet. I guess we touched on it earlier about the bond you share and the strengths you leverage off each other, because obviously you are brothers.
Same haircut.
Same haircut. But Ray White is very much a family business.
Yes.
and nurtures everyone as a family. So having that bond, you'd be very aware of what it's like to be in a family business. And then I guess how does that filter through to your staff as well? Do they have to go have the same values as you do in that way, or same morals?
So look, not necessarily the same values, but I think we bring a lot of familiar values, and that was a big decision when we were looking to change brand years ago, we were only making this move for the right reasons and we weren't going to go backwards. So we were very, adamant of what our values are and what the brand's values bring to the table. So when we do that with our team, like we treat our team like our family. Like there's no question. They can't ask us whether that's personal, whether it's business, whether it's relationship. We're pretty open with our team and our doors are always open. And we're just very big at, bringing our values to the table, but growing that, relationship with our team and them feeling part of our family. So, yeah.
Because you did make the switch from an alternative brand to Ray White. What was the biggest factor behind that decision?
The biggest, I think, when Santo and I sat down and really talked about this, because fundamentally for us, we had a great business already. And for us to change brand, we knew there had to be some really positives around what is it going to deliver for the team? How is that going to help us strengthen ourselves in the market, and what's it going to look like in the future? So we had these three key things that were really important to us. Is this the right mechanism that's going to take us to be a better business and better leaders? And is this the right mechanism that's going to see us through the next 25, 30, 40 years of this business and hopefully leave a legacy for someone else when we decide to retire at some point as well? And I think sitting down with Dan and the family, a lot of the times we brought these questions to the table, and it was refreshing to hear that they had similar versions or similar understandings for what they wanted for Ray White as well, and it aligned with us. So it made it felt right. Yeah.
So Gio, the Townsville market's seen some exciting shifts. I mean, I know last year was pretty big, but they're saying that 2025 is going to be even bigger. What are you seeing on the ground right now?
Well, look, to be honest with you, last year was just absolutely phenomenal. We could never have picked that we were going to have an uplift like we had. We've seen the lowest stock levels ever in Townsville. We've seen the biggest uplift in price point as well, and the biggest shift in actual our buyer demographics as well, doing different things. So I really think there's been a shift in that upgrader market as well, where people are making some money now for the first time in Townsville in a long time. They're going, this is the time we need to take that step. Let's go and get the forever home and buying in. Investors are still very relevant at the moment in our markets, and also that first home buyers, of course, are really, really pushing hard to get into the market as well. So really, really big uplift. And look, 2025, geez, if it goes again, I'll be super excited. We hit the ground running in January. We've had a great start to the year already. Excellent. And stock is coming to market as quick as we can get it.
Yeah, that's good. I guess as you said earlier, that is the problem though. There's still sort of such low supply. But what are you seeing as predicting ahead, Santo? Do you think it's going to be as strong as you've seen it, or are there any big developments ahead that you think will be major factors in the growth?
Look, there's a few things happening in town. There's a big defence population that's moving here from Darwin. So there's 1,500 defence personnel coming to town. So that's certainly going to bolster up the town. There's always the support services that goes with that. But there is some good, strong development, and there's people investing money in Townsville at the moment, which is great. We're seeing some new developments happen. They're talking about a new entertainment centre. They're about to sell a block of land in the city here for development opportunities there. So there's lots of things on the cards that's just going to continue to drive the city forward.
Yeah, just having a drive around town this afternoon, seeing sort of down at the marina there, you've got that new Maidment Group luxury development. That looks to be like, that's pretty high-end market,
very high-end
isn't it?
Townsville.
That's going to be top of the market for Townsville.
Absolutely. They always knew that was an interesting development. We've been working firsthand just to have a bit of a conversation with them as well. They're a good developer who actually wants to know what's going on in the markets from the leaders. So we, good relationship there, but they always knew they were going to push the point. But the surprising thing is they are selling them quick as they can get them. So it'll be an exciting development for Townsville. They'll definitely push the point of one, quality, but also price point for a product of that nature, which is really exciting. There's heaps of other infrastructure projects just in and around Townsville as well. So, and core things that we need. So power, roads, all those extra things, and supporting facilities. So warehousing and has been a huge investment in the last sort of 12 to 24 months as well.
Yeah. Okay, looking ahead then, I guess, what's next for the business? So you've got any big goals that you want to achieve?
Keep growing.
Yeah.
Big focus for us has just been stabilising a bit in the last 12 months. So just where we found our foundations, obviously changing brands, massive, especially when you've got a lot of staff. So the first 12 months was just, gone in the flick of a switch. So look, we're definitely, we're big believers in that if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. So for us, it's about not necessarily reinventing ourselves, but making sure we're keeping ahead of the game, exploring new opportunities out there, making sure we're ahead of the game with marketing and supporting our team, and just keep on growing this business.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you've got all that ahead of you, an exciting year again. So lovely to meet you both.
Thanks
for having me.
No worries.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.